Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Thursday, January 29th, 2026. We'll start with some other things. We're going into the Alexander Brothers trial, day 3. We're going pretty deep with it, and I'm actually realizing we'll probably put out a booklet, not maybe just on Google Play, as we did during the Diddy trial. Actually, that was due to some censorship issues, but I digress. Mangione, there was a filing in the state court yesterday in which the Office of Alvin Bragg says they want to go before the feds. They want their trial to start July 1st. We'll see what the defense says to that, but we reported that. Also, in Diddy, we'll do this one. In Diddy, the male dancer, male escort, performer, victim, Clayton Howard has asked once again to be treated as a victim and to have filing rights and various other things. He's also sued Netflix and I guess 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson for that video. That case has been moved to federal court. So those are 2 updates. Now, in more serious, or more somber, less entertainment-based news, yesterday we wrote up 3 separate habeas corpus petitions of people detained by ICE, coming from Georgia, coming from Liberia. First one I've seen on that, citing the Civil War and being in a refugee camp in Ghana, and also from El Salvador. So you can find those. 2 of them were assigned out to judges. 1 of them wasn't. I'm never sure how that happens. Also covering a case, drug case. There's some issues around the ceiling of the courtroom, but we sought the exhibits now from the U.S. Attorney's Office. We've been told that that's how it's supposed to work, and so we'll just see how it does, in fact, work. In the Alexander Brothers, a second victim took the stand. This one under the pseudonym Maya Miller. She came from Sacramento. She met Tal Alexander on Instagram. She paid for her own ticket. She thought she would be reimbursed, but she wasn't. She was flown on a seaplane to a mansion in the Hamptons, and was 2 days, nothing happened. The 3rd day, very bad things happened. Rape. The defense is going to be cross-examining today. It's something. We're going to, tentative title, Hamptons Horror Show. That was yesterday's story, but could be Hampton House of Horrors. You have to see how it develops today. It's really a shocking case. On the financial front, as we turn the corner, today's focus, the Federal Reserve System. Yesterday, they responded to our FOIA request for any safeguards of the conflict of interest of having banks on the boards of the Federal Reserve banks. I was excited because they gave expedited processing. I was expecting to get some documents. They say there are no documents. I think it's false. We appealed immediately because I believe for a fact that there's internal Fed discussion about the implications of Silicon Valley Bank, which failed having been on the board of the San Francisco Fed. If there are no documents, then the Fed is an irredeemably broken and unreformable institution. But I don't really believe that. That may be true of the UN, but the Fed, maybe they just didn't understand the request. Let's be polite. Maybe they thought it was only, I don't know what they thought, but we've appealed and they better come up with the documents. That's all I can say. Also on UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland, formerly known as FKA, we requested reconsideration of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's approval of them being a bank holding company, and they were told don't act on it until the board acts on our request. So it's kind of I don't want to say it's like a stay. We'll see. I'm sure the Fed will say it's Federal Reserve Bank of New York knows everything. They may know everything, but they're not the government, and so they shouldn't be handing out approvals. Okay, on the UN front, today we're going to be covering, I believe at noon, Antonio Guterres' last annual press conference. He does so few. He's so lame. 1, he does almost no press conferences, and 2, when he only takes his friends when he does. He can only go with his friends. He had Inner City Press thrown out and banned. But we're going to stream it, and we'll comment on it. And we intend to get back in, not waiting for Mr. Raul Grossi, or whatever his name is, Rafael Grossi. Is he really going to be the next Secretary General? Where are the candidates? Inner City Press, we're going in. To be continued.